My name is Teacher Evelyn, and I work for VIPKID. I'm making this video to share with you my personal approach towards parent feedback. If you work for VIPKID, you already know that after class, we leave a note for the parents, a note for future teachers, and we rate how our student did in the class. And just recently they added a rating for how we think the curriculum is so they can make improvements. But I want to talk today about the parent feedback. It was mentioned on Facebook recently that leaving personalized feedback can help you get rebooked. It really is true that it helps the parents know that you actually care about their child, you care about what they're learning, and you're paying attention to how they're doing. What I did was I watched several YouTube videos similar to this one about how other teachers left feedback. I also took a few workshops and took notes. So these ideas are coming from other teachers. And I'll talk about what I do, and I might mention a few things other teachers do as well. The first thing I do is I use the student's name. I personally use the student's name about 3 times throughout the feedback, but first and foremost, I start off with the name at the beginning. I use the student's name. I just taught a student named Hugasi. That's her Chinese name, and she told me I say it right. Who knows? I say, Hugasi did an excellent job today. Now, if my student didn't do excellent, sometimes I say they did great or they did good. I never say they did bad. But if I felt really good about the lesson, I do say they did excellent. If I do not feel confident about the lesson, I say they did good. If it's medium, I say they did great. So I would say Hugasi did an excellent job in English class today. The second thing I will say is what they earned. Today, Hugasi earned 5 stars. I always start with the stars. 5 stars and 6 desserts and 1 gold medal. Great job, Hugasi. There I am using the name again. So the third thing I do is I talk about the lesson. Today in class, we learned how to talk about the city and life in the city. Some new words we learned are park the car, go to the zoo, and I'll put in a few phrases that we learned. He goes to the zoo. They park the car. Some teachers at this point give homework to their student. And some parents love that. I personally don't, unless I really feel there's a word they need to work on pronouncing correctly that I feel like they didn't do well. If I feel like they could really benefit from rewatching the class, see, our classes are recorded and they're available for the teachers and the students and the company to rewatch the class at any time. So I would say, please rewatch the class and study the words that we learned. I don't always say that. Very rarely I say that. Okay. I always say, thank you so much for booking with me. I am so happy to teach, and I say the child's name. I hope to see you again soon. Now, those lines I think are essential if you want to get rebooked. On very rare occasion, very rare, like 1 in 100, I've had a student that I don't necessarily want to rebook me. So I'll just say, thank you for booking with me, and I'll move on to the next thing. I won't say, please rebook me, because I don't feel it in my heart to ask for them to rebook me, and they probably will rebook me with my luck. But most students are wonderful. Okay, next, me personally, all the teachers do this differently. Some ask for apples, some don't. They ask in different ways. Me personally, I read on Facebook a lot of different ways people ask for apples, and this is what I do. Apples is our 5-apple review that the parents, just as we give 5 stars to the students, the parents can give us feedback. And that goes on my profile. Other parents see it, and it affects whether I get booked or not. So I never say if. I don't say, if your student liked the class, please consider giving me 5 apples. I don't say if. What I say is a lot of times I don't say anything about Apple review. If I feel confident that the class went really well, which is about 1 in 4 classes, I feel really confident that it went really well, I will say, please leave a 5 Apple parent feedback to match your student, or I would say their name, to match your student's 5 stars. And then I always say, thank you, respectfully, teacher Evelyn VU. VU is my initials assigned by the company to protect my identity and differentiate me from other teachers with the same first name, because they do not give out our last name, and I appreciate that. Okay, so that's how I give the feedback as a review. I use the student's name. I say what they learned. I talk about the lesson. I thank them for booking. I ask for apples, and I sign my teacher name, which is Evelyn VU. Other teachers give homework and say, a lot of times they'll choose a final project, and I always include that. I'll say, Hagasi chose option 2 as her final project. Option 2 is to draw a picture of her VIPKID classroom. This is your homework. Please do not forget your homework. And so I'll put that in there. The teacher-to-teacher feedback really quick. Keep in mind that there are glitches in the system, and sometimes the parents, or maybe always, I don't know, but I know at times the parents can see your note to other teachers. Do not be disrespectful. Keep it professional. I say that because I've seen some notes, not personally on my account, but I've seen it on Facebook, that people say, can you believe this teacher said this horrible thing about the student? Keep it professional. If you didn't particularly enjoy the student, say it in a professional way that you would be okay with the company and the parents seeing it as well, okay? If you want to vent that you don't like your job, that's not the time or the place. Okay. The teacher to teacher is a time when you can give a little bit of detail about Hagasi is 10 years old. She can read well, but she needs some error corrections. Or I can say, Joey is 4 years old. He's very energetic, but his dad is a good help at helping him sit still in class. Or I can say, Bao Bao really enjoys my lion puppet. So I'm leaving a note for myself to remember next time I want to for sure use my puppet. Or remember, this student can read really well. I'm going to have her read more. Stuff like that. I always include what reward it is, because the other teachers and myself like to see what reward did I use that time. It's a reminder of what they enjoyed, and also so we can keep it different each time. That's about it. Also, when rating the students, we can rate that they're not doing well or good or great or excellent. What I try to always do is be honest, gracious, and tactful. A lot of times teachers will say that really we're not rating skill, we're rating effort. So if I feel like my student is trying their hardest to read well, then under reading, I can choose either to rate them as great or excellent. If my student did an excellent job, of course they're going to get excellent. If they made a lot of errors, a lot of times I'll put great. If I feel my student is not trying and just saying whatever word, I'll rate them good. I usually don't rate them at struggling unless they really, really need to be bumped down a level. Remember, I'm trying to be honest, gracious, and tactful when I rate my student. Keep in mind that in China, grades are very important to them. So don't just flippantly give a bad grade for no apparent reason. We care about our students and we want them to succeed. And a bad grade can make them very discouraged in English. So we try to be positive and encouraging. That's all I got. Parent feedback. Okay, thanks.